comments on the white paper on conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity in South Africa has been extended by a further 2 weeks. This as interested parties, including traditional leaders and communities, rush to have their voices heard on transformation in the sector. Traditional leaders organization CONTRALESA also agrees with the proposed legislation that breeding of wild animals must show conservational benefit. CONTRALESA and the National Heritage Alliance held a meeting with Forestry, Fisheries and Environment Minister Barbara Creecy today. Newzroom Africa's Pelane Phakgadi was there.
Wildlife is in danger of extinction as a result of human activity. Regular trophy hunting for animals such as wild cats, rhinos, among many others, fuels the threat. The Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment wants to make it law that breeding wildlife should include sustainable use that does not lead to the long-term decline of the wild, nor are disruptive to ecosystems, and encourages humane treatment of animals. But while looking to set legislation in that regard, Minister Barbara Creecy says formerly disadvantaged communities should not be left behind.
Those who are living in rural areas, and particularly those living on the outskirts of national parks, are not yet fundamentally benefiting from having the existence of a protected area in their neighborhood. Recently, Sandparks and Isimangaliso have had investment conferences. They are looking at putting out further assets for public-private partnerships to increase the economic involvement in the parks, and obviously within that process there will be a percentage set aside for ownership by historically disadvantaged groupings.
CONTRALESA says opportunities for meaningful participation in conservation and the wildlife economy in rural areas have not been sufficiently harnessed. The organization's president, Tupa Mokoena, says transformation being a predominant goal, new socio-economic models can be developed to enable marginalized communities to participate in the biodiversity sector.
We have seen people who flew from outside our country, came here without any trucks or load with games and so on. But they are owning these wild animals. The original citizens of this country will end up paying to go and see those wild animals, now being owned by those foreigners. We are saying it's high time now our people are given a chance as well to have those private games so that they own these wild animals.
The Natural Heritage Alliance says having marginalized communities own game reserves will bring about job opportunities and an economic boost to rural areas.
Those communities of us that are adjacent to national parks like the Kruger National Park should benefit from nature conservation and the wildlife economy itself. And on top of that, there is the game meat strategy, which is an expression in practical terms of how our people can access the wildlife economy and be part of the traders in game meat so that they become business enterprises there and also can create jobs for themselves and generate some income.
Both Matsila and Mokoena are of a view that the creation of large, contiguous, connected terrestrial conservation landscapes that enhance naturalness and wildness will safeguard conservation on communal and community land, leading to inclusive and coherent management of conservation areas. Interested stakeholders have until the end of September to make submissions. For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, I'm Phakgadi in Pretoria.